Welcome back to the channel. This is the part of the job where we've got everything stripped off and we're ready to put the first structural elements in. In fact, 2 of only 3 major structural elements. So we've got a steel beam which runs through the middle, and we've got a steel beam that runs through the front. So these are 203, 46 kilos per metre. And they sit on the external wall and they sit on the party wall. So first things first, party walls, you need to have a party wall agreement that has to be in place. And what it means is that we're using our half of the party wall. And in fact, the neighbour here, you can make out there is actually another steel coming from the other side. So you can see that this is very common occurrence, but back in the day, you didn't need a party wall agreement, you do need now. So if you're having a loft done or considering it, and your architect said, oh, you're going to load off the walls, you make sure someone's taking care of the party wall agreement. Anyway, so we've cast levelling pads with C40, so 40 Newton concrete, into these to get them up to the height that we can put our steel spreaders on. The steels sit on the spreaders, and then basically we build a wall through the front, which is the purlin wall, that supports the rafters. And then we've got another steel which is going through to the ridge, but we can't get that in at this stage. We're going to get it up onto the scaffold. Once it's up on the scaffold, we can get all of the floor in, the structural floor, that's the steels, the joists, and then the joists out to the back wall. Get that other steel on top in the middle where it's going to go, and then it's just a matter of raising it safely off the new structural floor. The steels that we've got are 300 kilos each, roundabout standard for this sort of loft. Sometimes they're even heavier than that, but these ones aren't too bad. A lot of it is done by simply rolling, okay? So we've got a staging made out of some of the old chipboard here. That is built over 2 load-bearing walls which go all the way through the house down to the foundations, okay? So it's no good just thinking I can walk all over these ceiling joists, because there's so much bend in them. They're not designed for any traffic at all. They were just designed to hold the ceilings up. And these members across the top here, which are called binders, actually sort of hold them all together. Now those binders will come out when we put the joists in, but we take that out in a very structured fashion, and we don't put any load onto the ceiling as we do it. So we'll put a joist through, we'll move a bit of binder and carry on and move it all the way through, so we don't disturb all the existing structure at all too much. So the job today is, we've got the crane out front. He's got the steels, the 3 steels. He's got one of these high-ab cranes so he can actually post them in, and we're going to slide them in. We've got 3 or 4 points that we can land them on, so we're never sort of setting the load all over one spot. I say 300, it's about 80 kilos a point, so it's like 4 bags of cement per point. But actually look at it like that, it's not that bad. And then we're just going to basically slide the stuff in. We get to the point here in the middle where we're sliding directly over where the 2 load-bearing walls meet. So all of the weight effectively can always be around this area. We're going to slide one over and aim it onto that pad which has been cast over the wall, and a steel spreader will be sitting on that. So we're going to go over to there, we'll probably slide it out and pop it back into here, into the wall. So that's very straightforward. Similar on this one, we'll obviously slide it in and we'll maneuver it to get it over that pad and back into that wall. So that's it, we're going to get on and do that, and then start putting some floor joists in, actually building. So we've landed the first 2 steels. I've got a little bit of time lapse that I'll probably run over this while I'm talking, which shows the versatility of these cranes. Now this crane, he's literally not even using any of his jibs, and in his jib every section is going to be about another 2 or 3 meters, and yeah, it's absolutely huge to reach. So the last steel that's coming in is the easiest, because we're going to take it across here and spread it across 4 of the actual standards that go all the way to the ground. As I say, it's 80 kilos a point or just below. So we've worked everything out. You've got to calculate these things. I've just got to move the aerial out the way. There we go. And then we're going to come in the back here. There's the wall plate. This is bolted through. These are sitting on the wall plate, and it's just like 4 bags of cement in each position, which isn't a lot, but you need to kind of understand this. Here it comes. I know, it's good, isn't it? YouTube. It is. Here, on this side, on here. There's no lifting, so what we're doing is, Angus is on the camera, he'll have to drop it in a minute, but we're going to pull it in until the knot is this side. I'm going to pull it in one-handedly. There. Angus has got to go on the end now. Get your weight on that end. Quick resight of this, make it into a cradle now. Yeah. There we go. And then we're going to cradle it out now, and it's going to slide in one-handed. All right, I'm pulling it in. A tiny bit. That's it, telling fine. And that's it, mate, isn't it? That's the 3 steels here now. We can relax, send the lorry away, and take our time getting them into position. So here's my timber, and we can start using that anytime soon. Now, just as a matter of interest, we started lifting these at about 7:45. It's 8:15 now, so half an hour or so, but allow an hour. And yeah, so this is our timber. There's lots of our rafters here. We've got joists and stud work and all sorts on that side. So we're going to get those steels in position, and then we'll start building. Once the crane had got the steels up, it was just a matter of us really carefully just bringing them in, just rolling them around. Now they're 300 kilos each, okay? And there's only 2 of us here. And of course, there's no way we can physically lift those. But what we can do is we can roll them. We can use levers, bars, and all sorts of things, even lengths of 4x2, to actually just ease them up and ease them down. But the name of the game is make sure you know where the strong part of the building is. In our case, we've got a wall, which is pretty typical of most houses, which is the spine wall, which runs all the way down to a foundation. So we concentrate all of the load around the spine wall. Also, you've got to think about how many points of contact the steel's got and where those points of contact are, because as I say, if it's 300 kilos and you've got it on the middle rolling on something, that all the load is at that point. So it's no good rolling it over a piece of chipboard which is not supported correctly, because the chances are if the bar's not long, it will just crack through the chipboard and it will all go bang. So we remove a little bit of the wall plate here. We pull out the nails so we don't cut into them with our multi-tool. We cut down here with a multi-tool. We cut down there. We leave about 10 mil at the back, because on the opposite side of that is the plaster in the hallway here. Then we carefully take the plate out and we clean out this cavity. And then we cast a box. Now that box and the top of that is exactly set to what we've done on the other side for our pad stones in the party walls. But if you're having a loft or you think you're having an extension done, you need a party wall agreement. Allow some time for that, because it's neighbourly consent. You've got to agree with your neighbours. They need to understand what it is. Some people just don't like the thought of it. And I have had a few where it's taken 18 months to get the party wall agreements, way longer than it took to actually do the job or even plan the job out. So just bear that in mind. These are pad stones we've cast in situ. You can buy pre-made pad stones, but generally you can't get them to fit if you're not careful. You've got to cut them down. And also these are now knitted completely into the building. We're not relying on a cement bed underneath that, so it's completely solid. Steel spreader, as specified by the engineer, is here. Obviously the steels are in. Now, to get the steels in, we need to make sure this one here sets the finished floor level. When the joists are cut in here, we leave them up a bit for shrinkage, so when they shrink the floorboards don't hit the steel, they can sail straight over the top. But that one sets the height. And where the old ceilings used to sag, that was in our favour. We've been able to keep close to the tops of the joists. We don't want to touch them, we want to be off them as well. So we've got a good 10 mil clearance all the way through, but that set the height. On that side of the build, where that steel is, the front steel, which supports the mid-span of the roof, that one is higher than this one by about 30 millimeters, and that's because that side of the building is not sunk so much, it's a bit higher. So we've cut all the joists, we've got all of these ready. We're going to brick in the party wall now before we slide our first joist in against the wall, and we're going to joist all the way over to where the stairwell is going to be, trim around the stairwell, and then this side we'll put some temporary boarding on that, and then we've got a platform to work, and then that side we can joist out to the back wall. Then we can build the dormer wall, the gables, get the ridge steel in, and away we go. So we've had a pretty good week here. This is our first week, and what we've done this week is obviously stripped all of the tiles, all of the close boarding or battens, all that's gone. We've only left what we need to leave at the front, and we've got the steels in, and we've just started putting through the floor joists, which is fantastic because now we're completely self-sufficient. We're off the old weak structure, and we've got this lovely new foundation, if you like, to build off. So the next part of this particular job is I'm going to trim out for the stairs. I've already worked that out, where the stairs are, what the headrooms are, what the going is, and I know where it's going to start and finish. So I'll put my trimming joist in, and then my trimmed joists. They'll be hung off of this triple here, and that's we're looking good then. Then we're going to put the joists out the back. We'll get rid of this bit of insulation somewhere. We'll get a wall plate all the way through to sit the joists on. And then from there, we'll build the back wall of the dormer up. We'll build the gable up and start pulling the roof across over a wall on the steel. So that's how it is. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with progress. I've obviously not covered some of the cutting of the joists. You've seen me do it loads and loads of times. There's lots of videos here in my channel where I'm doing a lot of this first fix work. So just keep checking back through and you should see a lot of that sort of stuff as well.